What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Botch Squad podcast. I am your host, Gene the Man 94, and I'm kind of switching things up a little bit. Usually I would do the Raw and SmackDown reviews, but I'm trying something different with the channel. Now I'm going to try to just do it in just podcast format. So we got a couple topics to talk about. Just want to see how this goes, give it a little test run, see how you guys enjoy the new format. So I guess to kick things off, we gotta talk about the big news, probably of the year for WWE. Something we never thought we would ever see happen ever again happen. Not in the exact way we would think it was gonna happen, but we got the return of CM Punk after his, oh my goodness, his leave of absence. I don't even know what you want to call it. Just him leaving the WWE after being disgruntled for so many years. He went to UFC, tried that out. Didn't work out for him, and now he is back. But it's a little bit different. It seems he's employed by Fox, but he's on the show WWE Backstage that comes on FS1. Complete and total surprise. Nobody saw it coming. There was rumors around, him possibly showing up, but nothing was set in stone until we heard that music hit and he came out on the last minute of WWE Backstage, shocking some of the people who were actually on the show. I think the only person who knew was probably Renee Young and the producers. But other than that, we have CM Punk back in the WWE in at least some type of capacity. He's going to be able to talk about what's going on, the current product, and I'm excited to hear what he has to say. I have to watch Backstage now. I haven't actually watched it, but this little clip just popped up in my news feed and the internet just broke. He broke the internet once again. But I'm just so glad he's back. Everybody wanted him to come back and wrestle, but that's not what he's into anymore, it doesn't seem. But I think this analyst type role is something he will actually be comfortable with. And I even saw the behind the scenes video they put out, and it seems like that's his comfort zone. He said he kind of was interested in more of an analyst role instead of, actually coming back to wrestle. So we'll see how it works out. But I'm sure even just having CM Punk on the show is already going to spike the ratings even more. And I don't even think the show is doing too well, to be honest. But CM Punk back in the WWE, I'm so excited about that. I was one of the biggest CM Punk fans when he was wrestling. I supported him in UFC, even though he didn't, particularly succeed in UFC. The fact that he actually went there and tried, it takes a lot of guts to do something like that. And I'm glad he's back. And we get to hear his uncut, unfiltered opinion on things. And we know CM Punk, he's always uncut and unfiltered. He's going to say what's on his mind no matter what. So get ready for the quote-unquote pipe bombs to be dropped. But yeah, that's exciting. Everybody's been, clamoring about that. And honestly, I can't blame them. That's big news. SmackDown and Raw, I've kind of been catching, clips here and there. I haven't actually been watching it. It's so hard to watch it nowadays. There's just so much going on that I just don't like. I can't get behind it. Now, I have to say, this NXT Invasion stuff is really interesting to me. It was something different, and that part of it is really good. You got the Undisputed Era, and you got, Rhea Ripley, and all the NXT women coming. You got Matt Riddle, and just everybody coming from NXT invading Raw and SmackDown, and they're just battling with each other. They're having matches. Tommaso Ciampa's on SmackDown and Raw. They're just doing the most with it, and this has really been enjoyable. Apparently, there's going to be Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT at Survivor Series, and honestly, I think that's the best way to go, because if it was just Raw and SmackDown, especially after this draft debacle, I don't even understand. They draft people exclusively to shows. People are still showing up on other people's shows. There's people just swapping shows. We swapped the main champion. The Universal title is blue. I don't understand what's going on right now. What was the point of having the draft if you're going to draft certain people to certain shows just to move them around? Like Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross got drafted, and then they got traded back for nothing. It just didn't make any sense to me. Bray Wyatt went to SmackDown. Brock's back on Raw. I'm just like, wasn't the point to put Brock on SmackDown for the ratings, but you move him back to... I don't understand. I really don't understand what WWE is doing. I don't even get why they even did another draft. This should be the last draft. They should just end the brand split when this is over and just never go back to it ever again, because this was just a bad idea. It's been a bad idea. They can't stick with it. They'll say, oh, people are exclusive to this show and that show, and then they'll just go back on their word. And then you got Asuka showing up on Raw with Kyrie saying it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what they're doing. They got to make up their mind what they want to do. It's either going to be a brand split or it's not. And obviously, the wrestlers themselves, the superstars, they're not too happy, because there's just people asking for the release left and right. Nobody's happy with the storylines. I just don't understand what's going on. It cannot be this hard to put on entertaining shows on a weekly basis. NXT's doing it. Even AEW's doing it. But for some reason, Raw and SmackDown have just been atrocious to watch. It's like pulling teeth when you watch SmackDown and Raw. I said SmackDown versus Raw. Jeez, if it was anything like the video games, it'd be great. I miss those video games, because now the WWE 2K video games, the video games aren't even good. Nothing's good. It's just NXT. I just don't get it. Like, is it really that difficult? Is it really that difficult? You got Rusev and Lana and this Bobby Lashley storyline. I don't get the point of it. It's just so frustrating. Something I grew up watching. Something that has been entertaining me for years. It's to the point where I don't even watch it weekly. I'll catch up on clips and stuff on YouTube, but to be honest, I don't make time to even watch it. Maybe the pay-per-views, but sometimes even those aren't even worth my time. It's so frustrating. And I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the exact same way that I do. I just don't get it. I don't get it. They don't listen to the fans. They don't care what type of input we have. And I get it, they're not going to listen to every single thing we say. But certain stuff is just like, what the heck? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I don't know. Maybe one day they'll get it together and at least put on decent shows again. But as for now, they're not even putting on decent shows. I didn't watch Crown Jewel, and I don't plan on watching Crown Jewel. And according to the results and the feedback, I shouldn't watch Crown Jewel. I am excited for Survivor Series only because NXT is in it. That is literally the only reason. If NXT was not included in Survivor Series, I don't think I would care. Like AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Roderick Strong, that is going to be an incredible match. I just know it will. I know NXT has to finish up some takeover war game stuff, and I guess more matches will be announced. But we have a couple announced. We got Undisputed Era tag team, which I think is Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish versus New Day versus Viking Raiders. So it's all the tag team champions facing each other, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be Shayna Baszler versus Becky versus Bayley. I believe that's going to also be a triple. I mean, it's a lot of triple threat matches, but they're very interesting matches. I'm interested to see what they'll do, because it's people we haven't seen face off before in matches, and the stakes are high because NXT is coming to play. They are not standing down. They're not acting like they're just developmental. They're acting like they're a main brand, which they should. That's how they look. When you watch NXT, it doesn't feel like developmental. Triple H and Shawn Michaels and everybody down there in NXT are doing a great job with that product. And I just wish Vince could just do the same thing on Raw and SmackDown. It's like people are getting demoted if they move up from NXT to go to Raw or SmackDown. Finn Balor went back to NXT. I feel like there's some people that would benefit from doing something like that. Kevin Owens. If Kevin Owens went back to NXT, he would be loved. Sami Zayn, one of the most entertaining. He was the heartbeat of NXT at one point. Now he's on the main roster. He's a joke. They've somehow managed to ruin just about everybody who's come up from NXT, and it just doesn't make any sense. Cesaro could go to NXT and be great. I'm sure they would find something for Cesaro to do down there. He's incredible. He puts on incredible matches, yet they just don't feel it necessary to use him. I don't get it. I really don't. Like, it's so frustrating. I'm sorry. It really is frustrating. But yeah, Survivor Series, exciting because NXT is involved. I believe, I'm guessing Adam Cole No, I'm sure they're probably gonna avoid having Adam Cole face Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt. That wouldn't be smart. I would love to see it because I'm sure Triple H would be involved and he would make Adam Cole look strong. But what they have going on with Bray Wyatt being the Fiend and everything, they're not gonna put him against Brock and Adam Cole because there's no way you can have Bray Wyatt lose that, right? Right. But I guess Brock's facing Rey Mysterio for the WWE title. And if anybody thinks Rey Mysterio is going to win that match, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. It ain't happening. I don't think anybody's beaten Brock for a long time. Probably Mania again. Because for some reason, we just have to put the title on Brock. I get it. He's a draw. I've been going through this for years. There's another video on my channel explaining why I'm tired of Brock Lesnar. And I love Brock. I'm a fan of Brock. I bought his t-shirts before. I enjoy Brock. But I just don't get this need for him to be the champion all the time. I don't get it. Now, granted, he's been around more than he has been over the past few years, so I'll give him that. But why does he need to be champion every single time? I don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sure it doesn't make any sense to you guys. But yeah, the storyline issues are just one of the biggest things. Like, nothing is appealing if it ain't got nothing to do with NXT. And once Survivor Series is over, NXT is going back to being NXT. What are you going to do after that? I mean, Bayley has turned heel. I love her new persona. I love her new look. I've always been a fan of Bayley, but this heel turn was long overdue. And it's something I do enjoy her doing right now. I believe Sasha's probably going to turn babyface. They're probably going to wind up having a rivalry. There's not really anybody on SmackDown for Bayley to face, honestly. So they're probably going to have to turn Sasha against her. Or turn her on Sasha, I guess, since she's heel. So I don't really know what they're going to do with that. Mania is fastly approaching. My plan is to go to WrestleMania this year. Well, next year, but this upcoming WrestleMania. I'm hoping I can make it happen because I've never been. Of any wrestling fan is to make it to a WrestleMania. We'll see what happens, but what are they going to do for Mania? I can't even imagine a WrestleMania main event right now with the current state of the product. Could you guys? I mean, maybe you could. I'm sure it's going to have something to do with Brock Lesnar. They're probably not going to do the women again. Probably not. That was probably a once every few years type of thing. They're not going to repeat having the women close out the show. I doubt that. Maybe Bray Wyatt's involved. Who's going to take the title off of him? Because nobody is built up to take the title off of him except probably Brock Lesnar. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do for Mania. I'm getting really, really nervous. I mean, I'm trying to think of somebody who could possibly beat either Brock or Bray Wyatt right now, and I don't know. Bring John Cena back? I mean, Roman Reigns hasn't really been relevant lately, so I don't think you could do Roman Reigns. Plus, would you really have Roman Reigns beat the Fiend? I don't think so. That ain't happening. But NXT is making Survivor Series worth watching. Other than that, the product is just, it's so miserable to watch. I know I keep repeating myself about it, but jeez, it's so sad. All the talent they have, and they just can't build up anybody right. They can't make anybody look good, except, the same 3-4 people. What are they going to do with Seth? I don't know. They want him to be face one week, the next week he's heel. They just can't make up their mind. They can't stay consistent with their storylines. I'm kind of glad CM Punk ain't coming back to wrestle, because it would be a disaster, because they wouldn't book him correctly. I'm sure they wouldn't. They still wouldn't get him the WrestleMania main event that he would want. And I'm sure that's one of the things that's probably keeping him back from actually wrestling in WWE. He knows it would be a train wreck. So I like him in his role. Keep him as far away from Raw and SmackDown as you can. I know it's sad to say that, but it's just the reality of the situation right now. I guess they have some of the teams for Survivor Series. Nothing's all completed yet. I think we still have a few weeks until Survivor Series. I don't exactly know the exact times for it. But hopefully they're able to put on a good show. I'm sure NXT will at least save it and make it decent. AEW, people have been asking me to talk about AEW. I haven't really watched much of it. I have seen clips. You know, I've seen the Jericho and Cody stuff. I thought that was great. Cody cutting one of the best promos he's probably ever cut. Jericho being champion, just classic Jericho. He's reinvented himself once again. A little bit of the bubbly. I love Jericho, man. He's one of the GOATs of all time. Just, oh my goodness. That man is just... Who would think at this age, 20, what, doing this, probably longer, Jericho is still relevant. He's still looking great, still putting on great matches. You got all the tag teams, the Young Bucks, the SCU, just people like that. Like I said, I haven't really watched a full episode of AEW, but I have seen matches. Goldust, unfortunately, is hurt, but him and Cody put on a great match at their first show. I'm going to have to check out AEW, because if I can't enjoy watching WWE like I used to, I'm just going to have to find something that's great. And apparently AEW is great right now. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't know so much about it, but I'm probably just going to wind up having to get into it. So we'll see how that goes. But there's not really much left to talk about, really. I mean, the NXT stuff is exciting. Raw and SmackDown are terrible. There's no point in really bringing anybody in. I don't understand. Even the SmackDown and Raw teams that are gonna face the NXT team, they don't look viable. Like, you got Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Shorty G. Why is Chad Gable named Shorty G? Can we just talk about that? Why? Chad Gable is a decent to good wrestler. And they're just embarrassing him at this point. They're making it seem like he's just a nobody. And that's the problem. You got King Corbin. Who the hell cares? Ali. I'm guessing that'll be the SmackDown team. The Raw team is looking like Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Ricochet. Now that's probably a good team. That could probably beat the NXT team. But what I'm looking at is rumored is Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, Matt Riddle, Finn Balor, and I'm not sure. Hold on, let me see. I'm not sure who the last person is. They kind of have a question mark there. But who knows? They could throw Tyler Bate in there. They could throw anybody in there. I'm pretty sure NXT can throw... I wish Velveteen Dream wasn't hurt. He would be good in that match. But I think he's hurt right now. I don't think he'll be able to make it. Johnny Gargano just got hurt as well. Prayers for Johnny. Hopefully he comes back soon. I'm from Cleveland, so, Johnny, from being around here, we all love Johnny. Hopefully he comes back. I would have loved to see him and Finn Balor at War Games. War Games looks more exciting than Survivor Series, to be honest. I mean, even though there's only like 3 matches announced, War Games looks way better than Survivor Series sounds right now. So we'll see. I mean, you could throw Pete Dunne into the mix. Maybe he could be on Team NXT. I don't know. That could be interesting. I do want to see Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch and Bayley go at it. Because Bayley with this new persona, you got Becky being the man, and Shayna Baszler is just a complete and total badass. So that's an interesting dynamic. I think either that women's match or like the mid-card champion match will be match of the night for Survivor Series. I think that might be it. I don't know. That's interesting. I can't wait to see that. Just the NXT part of Survivor Series. We'll see what's gonna happen. I think the Royal Rumble is the next major pay-per-view after that. Who's gonna win the Rumble? I have no idea. Like, I can't see anybody winning other than maybe Seth or Roman. Other than that, who could win it and you could believe it? Maybe Randy, but Randy won like 2 years ago. Cena's gone. I don't think he's coming back to wrestle. Maybe he'll appear at WrestleMania, but other than that, they don't have Cena anymore. You got to build up more people. Have everybody looking terrible. Drew McIntyre should be a future world champion. I don't know why he hasn't even been in the mix yet. to win a world championship. Drew McIntyre is an absolute monster. They dropped the ball with Rusev. Now he's in this wife and Bobby Lashley affair storyline. Kevin Owens, he should be in the championship mix. I don't know why he's not. They ruined Braun Strowman. Kofi's no longer WWE champion. I doubt they're going to throw him back in there. I don't know where they're going to go from this. It seems like it's just going downhill more and more every month. I'm just going to hopefully hold out a little bit of faith that they get it together. I don't know. I'm done rambling about this. If you guys have anything you guys want me to talk about, put it down in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for listening. I didn't make it too long of a video, too long of a podcast. I was just shooting from the hip, just throwing stuff out there, seeing how you guys feel about it. Let me know what you guys think about Survivor Series down in the comment section down below as well. Slap a like on this video. Subscribe if you guys are new. Thank you guys so much for listening. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.